My nephew tackled Santa Claus at the mall and broke his nose, and he stopped a kidnapping ring. I got the call from mall security at 3:45 p.m. saying my nephew Derek had assaulted the mall Santa, and I needed to come immediately. I was 20 minutes away when my sister called me sobbing, saying Derek had lost his mind and attacked Santa Claus in front of 30 families waiting in line. When I arrived, Derek was sitting in the security office with blood on his shirt, completely silent, while the mall manager threatened to press charges. The Santa was in the back room with paramedics treating his broken nose, screaming about lawsuits while parents outside demanded answers. Derek was only 11 years old and had never been violent in his life. He'd been waiting in line with my sister to take his annual photo when he suddenly ran full speed at Santa and tackled him off his throne, punching him repeatedly before security pulled him off. My sister was hysterical, apologizing to everyone while Derek refused to explain himself. The mall manager said we had 10 minutes before police arrived to arrest Derek for assault. I knelt down and asked Derek why he'd done it. His hands were shaking and he kept staring at the floor. "That wasn't the real Santa," he whispered. "The real Santa has a mole on his left hand and always smells like peppermint gum. That man smelled like cigarettes and had a tattoo on his wrist under his glove." His voice was different too. Something was wrong and nobody was listening to me. I thought Derek was grasping for excuses until my sister went completely pale. She'd been bringing Derek to see this specific Santa for 3 years. Same man, same location, always requested him specifically because Derek loved their tradition. I demanded to see the Santa immediately. The mall manager refused, but I pushed past him into the back room where the man was being treated. His fake beard had come partially off in the struggle, revealing a face I didn't recognize. When I asked his name, he said Thomas Wright and claimed he'd been playing Santa at this mall for 8 years. My sister said that was impossible because she'd been photographing Derek with a different Santa for years. I pulled up photos on her phone from previous visits. The man in those photos was heavier, older, with kind eyes, and the mole Derek mentioned clearly visible on his left hand. This Thomas Wright was younger, thinner, and had prison tattoos barely hidden under his costume. When I pointed this out, he became hostile and demanded we leave before he called his lawyer. The security footage revealed something that made my blood run cold. The real Santa, a man named Gregory Walsh who'd worked there for 12 years, had left mid-shift claiming a family emergency. This Thomas Wright showed up 30 minutes later with an identical costume and took over the position without anyone questioning it. The line had been moving slower under Wright, with each photo session taking twice as long as normal. Security reviewed the footage more carefully and noticed Wright was spending extra time with children whose parents had stepped away to shop. He'd taken at least 6 kids to a back area, supposedly to show them where the reindeer were kept, an area with no security cameras. Each child had been gone for 3 to 5 minutes while their parents waited in line. Derek had been watching everything from his place in line and noticed the pattern. He'd heard Wright asking a little girl ahead of him where her parents worked and what time they got off, while another employee stood nearby taking notes on a clipboard. Mall security called police immediately while we waited with Derek. Detective Angela Park arrived within 20 minutes and confirmed that Gregory Walsh had been found unconscious in the mall parking garage with a head injury. Someone had attacked him and stolen his costume, his ID badge, and his work schedule. Park said they'd been tracking a sophisticated kidnapping operation targeting shopping malls during the holiday season. The group would replace legitimate Santa workers with operatives who would identify vulnerable targets, gather information about family schedules, and mark children for later abduction from parking lots. Wright wasn't working alone. The employee with the clipboard was actually Vanessa Hunt, wanted in 3 states for child trafficking. 2 other suspects had been positioned near mall exits, waiting for Wright to signal which children to follow. Derek's attack had created such a scene that the entire operation collapsed. Wright had panicked and tried to flee, abandoning Hunt and the others. Police arrested all 4 within 30 minutes.